Hey, what's up YouTube universe? This is Jacob Dark. Today we're taking the solid state logic SSL2 Plus and putting it head to head against the new Audient Id14 Mkii audio interface. We'll look at 6 competing factors, and at the end of the video I'll let you know which interface I'm choosing to keep and why. If you find this video helpful, be sure to give a thumbs up. Now let's not waste any more time and get into today's video. If we take a look at both units side by side, we'll find very similar layouts clearly aimed at the desktop user. Both have all buttons and knobs on the top, most connections in the back, and feature big knobs to make it easy to reach and control. The Id14 shines in its build quality, which is housed in a heavy-duty gunmetal frame. Gunmetal input knobs, gunmetal big knob, hard metal switches, this thing is built to last. While the SSL2 Plus isn't as armor-clad battle-ready, it features knobs like those you'd find on a mixer and has a more hands-on approach, with most of its functions having a button versus the Id14, which requires some of its functions to be accessed in the software. The SSL has an LED meter that displays your input level, while the Id14's meter has the upper hand and shows you both your input and output level depending on what you're doing. I really dig both LED color schemes, and I think Audient's change from the traditional green, yellow, red to the all-white is a nice improvement. I find the SSL has the better desktop form factor, as its lowered front end means everything is easier to see when sitting in my chair. In the end, it really is personal preference, and this is one category that's too close to call. Winner, tie. Both units have 2 mic pre-line inputs, 2 headphone outputs, and are both USB-C powered. This is personal preference again, but for my setup, the SSL2 Plus wins with the headphone outputs being on the back of the unit. This means I can run an extension cable to the side of my desk and connect headphones whenever I like without having to mess with my setup. With the Id14 headphones on the front, I have to turn the interface sideways or move it back so my keyboard doesn't get in the way. Beyond that, this is a runaway for Audient. Now, maybe your workflow would take advantage of it, but I have zero use for RCA outputs and don't play instruments, so I have no need for MIDI. Having ADAT instead is more useful and would allow me to expand my channel count should I choose to do so. Personally, I would have taken those RCAs out the back of the SSL and added a second set of monitor outputs so that I could add 2 sets of monitors to get an even more accurate clinical mix. What's that? Oh, it looks like that's exactly what Audient did. Kudos to Audient for being the first company to deliver 2 sets of monitor outputs in the $300 range. Winner, Id14 Mkii. I'm a firm believer that specs aren't everything, but for the record, the Id14 Mkii has a gain range of 58 dB, while the SSL2 Plus has 62 dB. This means the SSL should have less noise and be slightly superior. I like to let my ears decide, so let's compare vocal samples with each interface. Both will be using the same mic, the WA87R2, directly into the preamps. Hey, what's up YouTube universe? This is Jacob Dark, and today we're doing an audio test to try to determine which interface is going to give us less problems between the Audient Id14 Mkii and the solid state logic SSL2 Plus. What's up YouTube universe? This is Jacob Dark, and today we're doing an audio test to try to determine which audio interface is going to give clicks, pops, crackles, and things like that, and which one is going to have a cleaner signal. Now, when I'm talking about problems, specifically, I'm talking about the cracks and the pops and crackling and things like that that sometimes audio interfaces can have. I don't know if it's a driver issue or what it is exactly, but SSL2 Plus from Solid State Logic Logic, which I've used the SSL2 for the last year since the Mode 2 M4 and Solid State Logic videos, so now I'm trying to determine which is the cleaner signal between the SSL2 Plus and the Audient Id14 Mkii. Now, I didn't have two of the same microphones and two computers to record the same source at the same time, so I did the best that I could with my inflection to try to keep the takes the same. What I found is that the Id14 sounds great on its own, but head-to-head against the SSL was a little bit more hollow, kind of spitty, almost kind of a tin can kind of sound, as to where the SSL sounded more full, well-rounded, and just more pleasing to the ears. So in this instance, I'm going to go with the SSL2 Plus, but let me know, which did you prefer? When it comes to converters, Audient has the clear upper hand with a dynamic range of 125.5 dB versus the SSL's 112 dB. A higher dynamic range means less noise and a more defined, clear hi-fi experience. If we have each interface at the same output volume, the Id14 will have noticeably better punch and immersiveness. However, there is a clear distinction here as far as how loud each unit can go. I found that I have to drive the Id14 to its max output to equal the same volume output the SSL2 Plus achieves at 4 on its big knob dial. Considering it can go up to 11, the SSL is loud. It can go so loud, I've personally never gone louder than 11 o'clock because I live in an apartment and try to be respectful of neighbors. Would you ever need to go to these sound deafening levels? Probably not, but if we're talking the same volume output between both interfaces, you will get a better sound out of the Audient, so winner Id14 Mkii. For this section, let's run those latency tests side by side and see who wins. When it comes to drivers, the SSL2 Plus has been absolutely flawless. Never one crackle, pop, or audio dropout on my Windows 10 PC. I've owned, tested, and reviewed a good number of audio interfaces over the years, and the SSL is one that's remained strong the entire time. The Id14 Mkii, for the few weeks I've had it in my possession, has been about 98% solid. No crashes or audio dropouts, but occasionally I'll get a pop or crackle during playback. Now, it's pretty rare and has never happened during a tracking session, so I can't say if you'd end up with a pop in a recording somewhere, but I'd much rather play it safe and know that I won't have to go back and re-record. Winner SSL2 Plus. When it's all said and done, I'm going to keep using the interface I've been using this entire time, the SSL2 Plus. Yes, the Id14 does have better connectivity, it does have better DAC, so it makes my monitors sound better, but the SSL2 Plus makes my vocals sound better, and at the end of the day, that's what you guys are going to hear. Now, you add in that improved stability and the better latency numbers, and to me, it's an easy sell. Now, if you feel differently and you would actually prefer the Id14 Mkii, let me know in the comments why you feel that way. That's going to do it for today. Before I go, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you can be alerted each time I upload more content. Until next time, thank you for watching, stay tuned, and have a great day.